touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, Sigma Race fans. We come at you live here tonight from Gateway here at Worldwide Technology Speedway. And it is race number 24 here in the Sigma Cup Series here tonight. And it is the Arches 300 for the Sigma Cup drivers. Pole position belongs yet again to Tadenberger, and he has been on fire setting these pole position starts. Has not been able to convert all of them to race wins quite yet, but here he is front row alongside last year's winner at this track, Tasha Wright in the number 90 car. Next row back you have Monty Shangle and Campbell Marsh, followed by the two-time back-to-back race winner the last couple weeks, Jacob Shangle in the Ford there alongside Rowdy Galloway Jr. Then it is Brian DeBlanc and Cooper Dwight, followed by Lynn Farrell and Wyatt Wilkinson. Can engage mid-pack here with Finley Herwig, Bradley Ream and Alex Crowther, Al Bunch, and James Fireball Robert. Shy Turtle and Santi Messi, followed by Chaz Chadwick and Kara Shangle. Then it is Lucas Holmes and Tom Cording, followed by Chad Hertenstein and Sebastian Torres. Chris Harvey with Craig the Void, Braden Varga and Preston Kundo. Louis Trost and Tyler Shangle, Jimmy Logano and Luis Rodriguez, followed by Carson Bowers and Kevin Xavier, John Hagan and Eli the Wolf, Kellen Relic and Tyler Aspinall, Brandon Butler II alongside Tristan Reams, Rich Roy and Trevor Walker with Tyler Landa at the back of the field here. So 300 miles here at Gateway tonight for a grand total of 240 laps. Definitely a good lengthy run here tonight to get a good shakeout for the competition at hand. Of course, the storylines rolling into tonight, that number 60 machine of Jacob Shangle winning the last two races. Could he go for the three-peat? And maybe not, since the game's already crashing here tonight. So good thing on it to crash this early. We'll just try again.
Favor, touch all your seatbelts, touch all your... Touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want. Start your engine!
On the restart here, it is a Cording Brothers Motorsports lockout of the front row between Tom Cording and Luis Rodriguez. Monty Shangle in third alongside Tadenberger in there.
Don't let him speed because it's a short box right there. Second was on the green flag, wear him out. Even if he says he understands, keep wearing him out.
Pace car pulls off. We're rolling for the Arches 300 here tonight. Going to be a good shakedown, get a feel for who's really got what it takes to win here tonight. 300 miles for a grand total of 240 laps. already off to the good early jump. That 16 of Monty Shangle looking low on the number 30, trying to take the race lead right out of the gate. Tom Cording with pole position, ain't going to be able to hold it for long here as he's going to have to defend against the 16, hard charging on the inside. Makes the move, gets a nose, and now still side by side rolling through the turn. 16's got a nose on the 30. This track, KBM won it here last year with Tasha Wright. Could they be showing up tonight with the same notebook, try and get the win again? Tom Cording credited with leading lap 1 here, but Monty Shangle was right there on the inside. Doesn't take much longer for him to get sorted and settled ahead of the 30. He's going to be able to close the door, and Tom Cording settles into second here. Tadenbergen on the meanwhile moving up into third, looking to try and get up there and mix it up with your lead 2. Taden is your points leader, has a 20-point lead over James Fireball Robert, and a 256-point lead over Bradley Ream in third. So Ream's in the mix here tonight in the top 5. You're going to have to start wondering how they're going to reel in your points leader. Tadenbergen does not have very many bad runs. And so for Tadenbergen, even just to have a bad run, sometimes all that means is getting outside the top 5 once in a while. You might notice some of our part-timers in the field here tonight. Skim through the field here and get an idea of, so we got Shy Turtle in the 33. Since we're past halfway in the season, teams are willing to exercise their right to run an extra car throughout the season and not risk Rookie of the Year status. So Shy Turtle, with you gotta finish less than half of the races to still maintain rookie eligibility. As soon as you finish more than half, you are no longer classified as a rookie, and then you fall into the Rookie of the Year standings for that season. So a lot of our rookies, a lot of our one-off drivers, since we're past halfway, you're going to see a lot more of them. And so yeah, we got Shy Turtle in the mix. A little bit further back, you have Cannon Gage in the 8 car there. Oh, and there's a wreck in the background. You can see right out of your peripheral. That should bring out the first caution here tonight. You also got Sebastian Galloway Jr. in the field here, another part-timer. And Santi Messi, Campbell Marsh, and a few others. But John Hagan goes for a wild ride, and it stays green. Well, let's see what happened to John Hagan here to really wad up his 88 car. Eli the Wolf gets into the 88. Full spinner, hard hit on the inside wall, and Hagan just spinning like a top on the infield there. Gathers it back up, and we are free of a caution. As wild as that is, that's crazy. Never seen it that way before, where a wreck, a full spinner, and no caution. That's a first for sure. Hagan gets the worst end of that and is going to have to try and bounce back somehow here tonight with the damage on his car. It's actually wild. We have some wrecks where you think there should be a caution, and then you have some cautions where there was no wreck whatsoever. So this one definitely takes the cake for one that you really should have had a caution, but they sat on their flag there like it was going to blow away. Well, Monty leads now over Tadenbergen and Tom Cording, followed by Bradley Ream and Luis Rodriguez. Craig the Void also in the top 10 there, followed by Jacob Shangle, your race winner for the last 2 weeks. Well, we're definitely in for the long haul here tonight. Monty Shangle has led so far early in this one. He's trying to defend a hard charge in Tatenberger in the 43 machine. But further back, Jacob Shangle gets around the 0 of Craig the Void, moving himself up into 6th. Jacob has 3 wins this season. Monty has 2. So father-son duo racking up the wins this year. Monty would be looking for race win number 3 next on his calendar if he can get the job done. Here comes Tatenberger, though, right up on his back bumper. He's going to try to look at making a move for the race lead here shortly. We have a battle for the lead starting to materialize. The 43 right there on the inside of the 16. Monty closes the door for now, but the 43 can smell the blood in the water. Well, up front looks like we have about a 12-car breakaway from most of the others. Monty leading over Tatenbergen, Tom Cording, Bradley Ream, Luis Rodriguez, Jacob Shangle, Craig the Void, Cooper Dwight, James Fireball Robert, Shy Turtle, and Tasha Wright, last year's winner here in 11. Monty is defending the race lead here from your points leader, Tatenbergen. Tatenbergen's been on a bit of a dry spell lately as he has not been able to convert to a win for quite some time. Tries to make a move there on Monty, but he blocks the run on the inside there, keeping the 43 at bay. The last couple races for Tayden have looked something like this since his win at New York just over a month ago. He's had a 12th at Iowa, a 2nd at Kansas, an 8th at Lowe's, or Charlotte rather, my bad. It used to be known as Lowe's Motor Speedway. It's Charlotte Motor Speedway. Followed by a 7th at New Hampshire and a 33rd at Brands Hatch. His average qualifying position has been that of 4th, and his average finishing position has been a 14th on track. Tonight did not add to that pole because the reset here, the game crashed. So Tayden Bergen with 12 poles this season. That is some rare air, definitely. Al Bunch has had quite a few poles in the one season where he dominated. So Tayden Bergen trying to maybe raise the stakes for the all-time pole setter award in the series. Looks like the 60 making some more moves here, getting around the 0 of Craig the Void. Or rather, defending against the 0 of Craig Void, who's trying to pass on the high side there. Well, as we are 28 laps in here tonight, let us take a look at the pit side notes here to see what the window for pit stops is. Looking at 77 laps here at Gateway, so about a 4-stopper here tonight to get through the event. Jacob Shangle makes some moves up into 5th. This could be a big pivotal night for the 60. Very few drivers make it a 3-peat. Almost no one has made it much further past that. We do have Al Bunch, who's been able to do a 4-peat, and 5-peat would be getting into rare air, never done before. So tonight, Jacob looks to try and win his 3rd consecutive race, which of course, now that I bring it up, now that I breathed it into existence, that is going to be jinxed to high hell, but we'll see. He officially took the all-time wins list away from his brother with his 37th career win at Brands Hatch last week, and so now he has sole possession of the winningest driver in Sigma Cup history for now, over his brother Tyler, who had 36 wins, and it's stuck at 36 since 2024. But it's kind of wild that in real life right now we have Denny Hamlin on the 3-peat. Could we potentially see some more art imitating life here tonight with Jacob? Kind of Denny Hamlin-esque type character in the field, a very much veteran of the league, of the series, and getting hot right at the time when it's best to get hot. Right there within striking distance of 4th and even 3rd on the racetrack here. 60 looking stout early on here tonight. Oh, and here we go. Battle for the race lead brewing. 43 sticks his nose on the inside of the 16, but Monty Shangle maintains the race lead in that Greg Biffle tribute car. Whoa, 30 of Tom Corden goes high, and that's going to slow him up. Open the door for the 60 of Jacob Shangle to make a move for 4th place. Could we potentially see a father-son battle for the race win here tonight between Jacob and Monty? It'd be one for the ages if we got it. As the points sit right now, Jacob Shangle 13th in the points, Monty Shangle 17th in the points. Still a lot of races left to go this year and a lot of room for them to make up some ground, but already it's been more than half the season in the books, and they're deeper in the points than they would like to be. Of the drivers in the top 10 in points, there's only a couple drivers without a win this year. Bradley Ream, who sits 3rd in the points, has 0 wins. Jimmy Logano in 9th with 0 wins. And then Luis Rodriguez, who sits 11th in the points, also with 0 wins. You have to look back to 14th and 15th. Al Bunch and Wyatt Wilkinson all still seeking their first race wins of the season. See on so many of the cars, Greg Biffle and the Greg Biffle tribute decals along with the Kyle Busch tribute decals. Each and every car thrown back or tributing the 2 late great racers in the series for the rest of the season. Monty running the true Greg Biffle tribute car, the 16 that he made famous, used to be a 3M sponsored machine. He's got Hiawatha Speed Shop on the nose of the car. The garage just down the road from the home base for Monty there, Hiawatha Speed Shop. still dealing with lap traffic here, and it's going to cause a disturbance in the race lead. Monty Shangle loses the lead here to Tatenberger, and your points leader, as they get right up there on the 15 of Tristan Reams, who puts them in a position like that. Now getting around the 15, Monty moves back into second here, followed by the 78, Bradley Ream. But look at 60 of Jacob Shangle now moving up into fourth. So a bit of a lead swap here on lap traffic disturbance. Tatenberger into the top spot at lap 47, and we're pretty much rolling through it here. No cautions. See the momentum that the 60 is carrying through the turn here. He closes the gap on Bradley Ream, has a good run. Is he going to be able to get by the 78? We got our first caution of the evening here at lap 49. So caution does come out. It involves the number 12 here of Carson Bowers, it seems. Not. Let's see who brings out the caution here. Oh, there it is. There's the smoke just ahead, and it's going to involve the 68 of Finley Herwig and the 54 of Sebastian Galloway Jr. So running in 20th, 21st, 22nd place right here with Cannon Gage as well. Those are three up-and-coming rising stars of our series. Sebastian just runs into Finley, spinning him out, bringing out the caution here for the first time tonight at lap 49. Carried a little bit too much momentum into the turn. Kind of a rookie mistake, it seems, spinning the 68 out. Sebastian just gets outside into the wall a little bit as well. But little drama there, not too many involved in the wreck, just a couple solo involved in the wreck there, here to bring out the first caution. They're able to get Sebastian's car patched up pretty quickly, and he's back and rolling. Well, now it's going to be Tatenberger, Monty Shangle, and Jacob Shangle, your top three, followed by the number 78 of Bradley Ream, the 0 of Craig the Void, the 30 teammates of Tom Cording and James Fireball Robert, 6th and 7th, followed by Cooper Dwight, Shy Turtle, and Tasha Wright rounding out your top 10. She's also got her teammate right behind her, the 55 of Luis Rodriguez, in 11th. Single file restart for this initial start here tonight, as double file was not yet enacted yet. But we'll have double file restarts for all the remaining restarts here tonight, just the single file restart for the first one. Everyone on the lead lap. Luckily, we're going to give the wave round again to John Hagan to get him back on the lead lap. All 43 cars still out there running, all 43 of which are on the lead lap. Alrighty, lights are off on the pace car. We're going to get back and rolling here at lap 54. One caution here tonight for 4 laps under yellow. Fastest lap so far within the first stint tonight was Bradley Ream with a 33.270. And pits windows cycles are going to look to be about 77 laps. So everyone pitted here during this first caution. That leaves us with a fresh segment here. More than likely about another 70 lap run before pit stops become a factor. So at about lap 120 would be about the midway point here tonight. We could see pit stops starting to happen. Good restart for Monty in second there. Gets a good run on the 43. Taden Bergen, your race leader, defending over the 16 of Monty Shangle. Jacob Shangle in third, looking for the three-peat here tonight. 2 wins the last 2 weeks at New Hampshire and Brands Hatch. Plenty of laps to get the job done here tonight. Him and his dad right there in the mix. Good charge there by Monty. Gets right up to the back bumper of the 43, but has to let out. And that's going to open the door for Jacob Shangle to make a move for second place. Bradley Ream drives it in there deep, and now Jacob on the attack for second place. He's got the momentum, he's got the speed, he's got the inside line. The 60 car is going to charge in there alongside the 16 of Monty. Side by side, they roll through turn 3. On the exit of turn 4, though, it looks like Jacob's going to have a nose. But the 16 is going to fight back on the high side, keeping it close, keeping it interesting, as they're side by side right at the line. Meanwhile, Monty drives it up deep in the outside line there. Jacob on the inside line is going to be able to finally carry the momentum he needs to close the door. Still struggling to make the move and complete it here, but the 60's got a little bit more speed. He's going to be able to slide now into second place with ease. Next time by, right here, he's going to be able to make the move, and that's only going to hurt Monty more as that inside line is starting to work together here. 78 of Bradley Ream on the move, 0 of Craig the Void, and there you have it. Second place now belongs to Jacob Shangle in the 60. Teammate cars there, obviously team owner number 16 of Monty Shangle to the 60 of Jacob Shangle as well. But a good run from the 60 as Taden Berggren kind of drove away with it here on the restart. Great start, and clean air ahead has only allowed him to expand his lead over second place. So let us go ahead and do a through the field here tonight as we're at lap 58. Your race leader, Taden Berggren, also the points leader this season, leads the way over Jacob Shangle, Monty Shangle, the father-son duo there. And then you have Bradley Ream right behind that, Craig the Void and James Fireball Robert, followed by the teammate to that of Tom Cording and Shy Turtle right there behind him. 41 of Cooper Dwight, the 55 of Luis Rodriguez, that's your top 10. Followed by Brian DeBlanc, Tasha Wright, Lynn Farrell, and the 26 for Calvin Steele Racing, Lucas Holmes. Kara Shangle top 15 with Braden Varga alongside of her. Alex Crowther and Al Bunch, followed by the 18 there of Chaz Chadwick. Then it is Santi Messi and Tyler Shangle. Cannon Gage and Preston Kundo, with Jimmy Logano mid-pack with Wyatt Wilkinson alongside of him. Eli the Wolf and Chad Hertenstein. Louis Trost, followed by Kevin Xavier, Tyler Aspinall, Campbell Marsh, Finley Herwig, and Brandon Butler the second. Then you have the 64, Sebastian Torres, followed by Sebastian Galloway Jr., the double Sebastian duo there, and Chris Harvey in the midst of it with them. Then after that, it's Kellen Relic in the 87, Trevor Walker, Rich Roy, Carson Bowers, John Hagan, and Tyler Landa rounding out the field as Tristan Reams is the tail end, nearly about to go another lap down again here tonight. Father-son duo duking it out here for second place. This is only allowing Taden Berggren to drive even further away from second on back. at the moment. The 43 of Taden Bergeron still out there leading over the 16 of Monty Shangle, the 60 of Jacob Shangle. That is your top three, your podium at the moment. And you have Bradley Ream right there in the top 5, followed by number 95, James Fireball Roberts. So quite a few of our points contenders up in the mix here tonight. Well, Monty looking to try and redeem himself after losing the lead from Tadenberger earlier on lap traffic mishap. They get around the 15 again here. Same situation last time where Monty lost the lead, but Taden maintains the lead here during the process. So closing the gap, 16 trying to reel in the 43, and we'll see if he can get back around him. Well, just like that, this may be the end of the night for the 15 after getting into the 41 of Cooper Dwight on the backside of the track. That is your second caution this evening. We were rolling the camera as he was getting passed by the lead lap cars and gets taken out. 41 flying on the inside there. Wow, what a turn of events. We'll keep our eyes on the replay here. 15 losing spots, had the slow car here tonight. Didn't go slow enough to get disqualified, but hits the wall, comes back down the track, collecting the 41, and hard inside hit there, totally demolishing both their cars here, it looks like. Uh, 15 still rolling though. I don't know. That was a pretty hard hit just to keep rolling. Next round of pit stops here at lap 92. The entire field making their option to pit here under the caution. Well, 147 laps left to go here tonight. A little bit of drama throughout the evening already. Couple wrecks, a couple cautions, and plenty of racing action to be had so far. Looks like Monty's going to roll out third here. Jacob Shangle fourth. Bradley Ream fifth, but it's moving up into second. Shy Turtle in the 33 for Steel Cadillac Racing. Up to second place. Alrighty, getting back and rolling here tonight. Double file here at lap 95. It'll be Tadenbergeron and Shy Turtle resetting the field here. Well, off to the race lead. Shy Turtle takes over the top spot here from the 43 of Tadenbergeron. 16 of Monty Shangle looking low on the inside. They're doubled up all down the backside of the racetrack. Shy Turtle leading some of his first laps here in the Sigma Cup Series. That Steel Cadillac Racing entry here tonight. Whoa, Monty goes to the high side. Now Shy Turtle defending against Tadenbergeron. Bridge to Cup prowess, putting him in a good position here tonight, carrying that skill set that he's developed over in the Bridge to Cup Series over here to the Cup Series. Quite a few of the Bridge to Cup drivers hoping to put together races like this here once they get up into the Cup Series. Shy Turtle with the power of Cadillac under the hood. Having a good run here so far. Moving back into third place, looks like Jacob Shangle on the attack. Gets by the father there in the 16 of Monty. And Taden running in second. .141 laps left to go here tonight. 2 cautions throughout the race so far. It's kind of slowed up the pace. Kind of put together a good couple breaks in tonight's racing action to really reset the field and give them a shot to fight for it again here. Different leaders here. We've had Monty Shangle lead for a good stint. We had Tadenbergeron leading for a good stint, and now it is Shy Turtle up front cooking with the race lead. Laps led looks something like this: 48 by Tadenbergeron, 45 by Monty Shangle, and 4 laps led so far by Shy Turtle. 1 lap led by Tom Cording a little bit further back, and that's your leader count right now. Kind of a mix between Monty and Taden between the 2 caution periods. And now Monty finds himself running in 5th. Taden finds himself running in 2nd. Taden gives it a good push here, gets right up to the back bumper of the 33. Racing back down the front stretch, down the start-finish line. The 60 closing the gap as well. Could be in the mix to fight it up for the race lead. We're slowly creeping our way towards the halfway point here tonight. Jacob Shangle with the fastest lap in a race at a 33.248. Brief pause here as we hit the record button right short of halfway here tonight. Taden with a good run, getting right up to the back bumper of the 33. Here goes the 60 on the attack for second place. Taden's trying to defend. 60's right there, wanting to take it. Good run by Jacob on the low side. He looks like he's going to charge by for second place. Taden on the high side, though, going to fight back here. Taden fights back, and there is almost 3 wide for second place there. Oh, and it's going to be 3 wide for third place as Monty and Bradley Ream are on the attack for Taden Bergeron trying to defend on the high side. Looking for a lead swap here, the 60 of Jacob Shangle on the inside of Shy Turtle. Looking to take the spot away. Here tonight, kind of a track similar to New Hampshire that Jacob won at in the first of the last 2 races. And it's Jacob Shangle back to the lead, looking for the trifecta, the three-peat, getting 3 race wins in a row. Here tonight, rolling in with a 2-race win streak. What could happen here? Battle for second starting to materialize. Shy Turtle falls backwards here as Bradley Ream, Taden Bergeron on the move. Bradley Ream moves into second. As now it's Jacob Shangle up front leading this race here tonight. That 60 has been tough to beat the last couple weeks. Ever since switching to the patriotic scheme, honoring Greg Biffle, Kyle Busch, and Grandpa Roman, the Ford Mustang here for Monty Shangle Motorsports has been one of the fastest cars. Go into detail with the last couple races here and look at the point standings. Jacob has climbed the ladder pretty rapidly over the last couple weeks, especially with his 2 wins. Prior to that win, he had a 4th at the Coke 600. And if we want to get really into the nitty-gritty of comparing and contrasting to real-life NASCAR right now, we look back at the Coke 600 to see where did Denny Hamlin finish at that race. Denny Hamlin finished 3rd. So almost a carbon copy of Denny Hamlin's stretch the last month of racing, basically. Denny Hamlin had a 3rd at Charlotte, and of course then went on to win at Nashville Superspeedway, Michigan International Speedway, and Pocono Raceway last week. Jacob doing it with a 4th, and then a 1st at New Hampshire, a 1st at Brands Hatch, and then here we are tonight with the 60 car leading again. I'm willing to die on that hill of jinx in this race if I have to, because for one, it seems kind of crazy that I'm sitting here calling my race up front, me leading and winning, and it's just weird. So yeah, I'm gonna toot the horn a little bit in hopes that maybe I do jinx my car out of contention here tonight. But so far, fastest lap for the 60 up front, lead laps now with 125 laps left to go. Looking for his first ever trifecta. It's never been done for him before. He's never won 3 consecutive races in any stretch prior in his career. Even going back to 2010, he would go and win 2 races apiece, and then it was scattered 1, 2, and 3. So for his first season of winning 7 races, he had 2 back-to-back early on in the year, 2 back-to-back in the middle of the year. Then he had 1 win, and 1 win. We can go through all the seasons here to see what Jacob Shangle's calendar looked like. Yeah, not looking like he did win more than a race here and there back to back. You can already throw 2011 out the window because he only won 2 races that year. Won 3 races back in 2012, and those were very much scattered throughout the year. 2013, 2 wins, so not even going to bother. 2014, the season that Tyler Shangle won the championship, Jacob took 0 wins home. So 2015, skip ahead, Jacob Shangle wins 2 races and the championship. 2016, it's really not been a thing to get multiple wins in a season for him, so this year's pretty wild. Yeah, back-to-back wins. Had a double at Charlotte and Kansas back in 2016. 3 wins in 2017. And pretty much scattered again in 2017. 2 wins in 2018. 1 win in 2019. 0 wins in 2020. 0 wins in 2021. 0 wins in 2022. So 3 consecutive years without a win there, and that's where Tyler really developed that all-time wins list in his favor, was due to the dry spell that Jacob had in the midst of one of his toughest dry seasons. 2 wins in 2023, and then we're getting to pretty recent. So 2024, Jacob Shangle finished second in the points to Al Bunch that year with 4 wins. All 4 of his wins came in very spread out fashion that year. So yet again, not the case. There's never been a season where he has actually won 3 consecutive. It's usually in stints of 2. 2 wins again in 2025. So Jacob's actually looking to put up some numbers that he's never done before since 2010, where he had 7 wins that year. We're just a little bit over halfway in the season. There's a lot of races left up for grabs to win. So we're halfway through the race here tonight. 121 in, 119 to go. Gets to wear the moniker of being the winningest driver in Sigma Cup at the moment, as he has extended that over his brother Tyler Shangle by 1 race win. Yeah, in the meanwhile, Bradley Ream closing in that gap though on the 60. Jacob Shangle is going to have to defend here. A hard charging Bradley Ream. Tate Berggren not out of the mix either, so we've got some fancy names up here fighting for the race win. Monty Shangle in the 16, not too much further back either, with the 33 of Shy Turtle still very much in the top 5. How about Craig the Void, though, running in 6th? Well, as things have stayed green here so far, I want to say your next round of green flag pit stop should be coming around lap 155 to 160. Yeah, so around that window. We're slowly reeling in that window here in the long green flag run that we've had for the first time here past a stint that we usually get a caution here. Currently running in 41st, it is Chris Harvey. Up ahead of him, you have Tyler Landa, Rich Roy, Kellen Relic, and Carson Bowers, followed by Kevin Xavier and Eli the Wolf. Finlay Herwig and Tyler Aspinall fighting with Al Bunch for 31st. Preston Kundo and John Hagan with a mangled 88 Genesis here flying up through the field still. So apparently aerodynamics, no concern there on the 88 as he still has a fast car capable of moving up through the traffic. Sebastian Torres and Jimmy Logano with Sebastian Galloway Jr. running in 26th. Chad Hertenstein ahead of him. Campbell Marsh, Wyatt Wilkinson, Tyler Shangle, and Trevor Walker 3 wide. Trevor Walker going a lap down in 40th, falling backwards here. Tyler Shangle duking it out with Wyatt Wilkinson. Then is Lewis Tross, Brandon Butler the second. Cannon Gage a solid 19th at the moment. 18 matches the number on the side of the 18. 18th position for Chaz Chadwick, Kerry Shangle, and Alex Crowther. Now in your top 15, you have Luis Rodriguez. 14th, it is Santi Messi. 13th place, Tasha Wright, the defending winner of this very race here. Lucas Holmes in 12th. Fireball Robert in 11th. Braden Varga with a top 10 run so far. 9th to Brian DeBlanc. 8th place belongs to Lynn Farrell and Tom Cording, simultaneously swapping positions there, 8th and 7th. Tom Cording under attack now by Brian DeBlanc for 9th place. Then you have Craig the Void in 6th. 5th place, Shy Turtle. 4th place, Monty Shangle. 3rd place, Taden Bergeron was 2nd place, Bradley Ream, as it's Jacob Shangle still up front leading this race. 30 laps in the books for Mr. Jacob Shangle. 48 laps led by Taden Bergeron, 45 led by Monty Shangle, and 12 by Shy Turtle. Still 1 lap led by Tom Cording, and that is all your lap leaders so far through 139 laps here tonight. Looking to do some rare things here tonight. That 60 has never won 3 consecutive races. It's happened a couple times. Monty did it back in 2024 where he won 3 consecutive races. Al Bunch did it. Of course, Al Bunch didn't stop at 3. He kept rolling all the way up to, I want to say it was 5 in a row that he won back in 2025. No, 2024, my bad. He won the championship that year with 15 wins. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. That was not the year. It was it 20... Was it 2025? Was it last year that Al Bunch did that crazy thing? No? It was 2023 then. Man, I'm losing track of my years. Oh, there it is. It didn't take me to the right one at first. It was looking at someone else. So yes, Al Bunch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive wins. Then he had a second, third, and then another win. So he was basically 2 races short of having 8 wins in a row. And also a 4th the next week at North Carolina. So his stint started at New Hampshire as well, crazy enough. Al Bunch started his dominant spree at New Hampshire. Followed it up with a win at Mid-Ohio Sport Car Course. Followed by Homestead, Miami. Then it was Lakeside Raceway, which would have been the Music Fest Grand Prix that season. and Kentucky to round out his five-peat. And if you look back a year to 2023, that was the one that Monty did it in early in the season with quite the stint. Oh, actually, my bad. It was a 4-race win stretch by Monty. His win was at Texas, Phoenix, Ricky Raceway, and Kentucky. So a 4-peat unlike any other as well. It's been done by 2 drivers, Monty Shangle and Al Bunch, a 4-peat and a 5-peat. And Jacob will be looking to join with a 3-peat. Welcome into the stream. Yeah, that 42's been struggling lately. I don't know what's gone wrong, where the team's fallen off here lately. Nothing's changed. The team is still the same. The car, the driver, they're all still the same. But Brandon Butler II has definitely had a rough patch here since his race wins. His 1 race win in Chicagoland earlier. Followed that up with a 3rd. But since then, it's been a 25th and a 34th. Had a 2nd at Moses Lake Motorplex, a 9th at Talladega. But this stretch is the worst of them all. When they went to Sonoma at 32nd, New York Street Circuit a 40th, Iowa a 20th, Kansas Motor Speedway a 14th, Lowe's, or Charlotte rather, a 5th, New Hampshire a 43rd, and Brands Hatch a 35th. So Brandon Butler is struggling a little bit here to get back into his winning ways. Still sits 5th in the points with his 1 win, 8 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. Those stats are actually more admirable than your points leader, who has 6 top 5s and 9 top 10s. And the only difference, though, Taden Berggren with 4 wins, as the points definitely favor those that are winning more races at the moment. Brandon Butler, though, has had 6 DNFs. Face that up against Taden Berggren, who has only had 3 DNFs so far, his team owner. So kind of both ends of the spectrum there. KBM is definitely the strongest team at the moment, as they have 3 of their drivers in the top 11. You don't have to look too much further back to find Tom Cording in 18th. So all 4 of their drivers still very much alive for the drive to take the title here this year. They're going to have their hands full trying to deal with Burt Money Racing and Taden Berggren, and also that of Railfan Motorsports and Bradley Ream. Jacob Shangle Racing, Monty Shangle Motorsports, they're all starting to climb back up the ladder, up the point standings. It's been a wild year, full of parity and a lot of craziness, so it's hard to say where the next streak is going to come from. Obviously tonight you're seeing continuation of success with the 60 machine, having won the last 2 races. You look at the stats and the numbers don't lie. Monty Shangle Motorsports with 5 wins, Cording Brothers Motorsports with 3 wins, Burnt Money Racing with 5 wins. But the big difference is the amount of drivers each of those teams have. KBM with 5 drivers, MSM, Monty Shangle Motorsports with 5, LFG Motorsports with 5, and Jacob Shangle Racing with 5. But you look at Burnt Money Racing, they are a 2-car juggernaut, and they're holding their own against the likes of the 5-car teams, which is very impressive. Burnt Money Racing, average points accrued between their 2 drivers, 1,321. You've only got 995 average points amongst the 5 KBM drivers, and that's second highest to Burnt Money Racing on a team of two or more drivers in the field. In a season with that parity, like I said, the only manufacturer not yet to win this year is Toyota and Subaru. Subaru's going to have a hard time to get that win because they only have 1 car and often fails to qualify for the main events. But Toyota, they have 7 drivers, all of which could still very much find a way to victory lane this year. Our window for pit stops starting to open up here soon, probably another 10-15 laps before you see green flag pit stops. It's going to be tough to make it. You're almost going to have another pit stop somewhere down the line here. If they can stretch it to lap 167, they would have about a 70 lap push on the tank that they have here at the end. I think what's simply amazing here tonight is how very little has changed, and yet kind of the dynamics of the races are actively changing week in and week out. I mean, the fact that the 60 team, they really haven't done much on research and development. This is the same 60 that we've had all year long. And so sometimes, even like real life, it feels like certain times of the years, drivers just have better approach to race week and whatnot. And even in Sigma Cup, in the NR2003 universe, it is very dependent on the calendar. And sometimes we have drivers that are stronger during the summer, while we also have some drivers that are stronger at the beginning of the year versus drivers that tend to really close out the year strong. So Jacob in the 60 here, harnessing his mid-season prowess here to really bring up, turn up the dial and get the 60 machine fighting for race wins, try to climb back up the ladder and put himself in a position to actually fight for the title this year. After Dalton Scott won the championship last year, becoming the first ever two-time champion, legacy champion being the inaugural the first ever Sylvania Cup champion back in 2010 before it rebranded to Sigma Cup last year, and he became the first Sigma Cup champion as well. A little bit of a fun fact, Al Bunch was able to close out the Sylvania chapter on both the Bridge to Cup side of things and Cup. Back in 2023, it was called the Sylvania Busch Light Series, and Al Bunch was your champion in the SBL 2023 campaign. And then it turned into Bridge to Cup the following year for 2024, where Al Bunch would then move on to Cup and absolutely dominate that season, winning 15 races, even having a 5-peat at the end of the year to really build that resume up, and ended up closing out the final chapter of the Sylvania Cup Series before its rebrand to the Sigma Cup Series. So kind of interesting when you've got those tidbits. There's only one person in the world that can claim that title, and both Al Bunch and Dalton Scott were kind of the storybook endings. Well, for Al Bunch, it's not an ending. It was pretty much just a storybook championship, and it's been a bit of a slump this year for Al Bunch, but there should be a point in time where he returns back to his former self. The big swap from Jaguar to Dodge seems to have been the hard hit that they did not expect to have to deal with this year. So Al Bunch just kind of going through the paces to get back to where he once was. Well, we have our third caution of the race and pit stops underway right now. Time to go back and see what brought out the caution here, as I was away from the screen there briefly. This kind of is a tough one because it doesn't give them the full strategy to get to the finish here. Oh, wow, wow. This is kind of sketchy. So Braden Varga has some bad blood with Cording Brothers Motorsports. As you can see, number 9 used to be a team car to Cording Brothers Motorsports last year, and he was let go and had to scramble to field his own team this year. Well, right here, he's fighting with last year's winner at this race, Tasha Wright. He gets right into her and doesn't even lift. He hooks her hard, puts her in the wall. Doesn't do very good at staying out of the wreck himself, but definitely causes a rainy day for Tasha here today, and takes her out of the running, at least for now, where she was up there fighting for a good running order, good position here tonight. And bad blood, I must say. Braden Varga must have done that on purpose after getting let go by KBM last year. Not very happy with the situation. They left on some pretty bad terms, and now he's taking it out on the racetrack, which is also very, very shameful. But we're going to get things settled and sorted here. Wow, Taden Bergeron goes a lap down. He had to have maybe pitted during... Did he pit when the caution came out? Right as the caution came out, he served a pit road penalty. He got dinged hard there. Wow. So from second place all the way back to 29th, Taden's going to have to come fighting from behind again. We waved everyone back around. 19 has a blown engine. Chris Harvey is already running back in 40th, 41st tonight, so tough break. Mechanical failure looks to be the cause of his retirement tonight for 41st. Cooper Dwight out, and Tristan Reams also out from that wreck earlier tonight. We're going to reset with 76 laps to go here, and it's going to be Jacob Shangle and Bradley Ream on the front row. We got an extra help in the booth here tonight. I got alongside me. Were we going with
Clint
Clint
Harvick.
Clint Harvick. That's what I wanted to make sure I had the right guy in the booth here with me. It was Clint. Yes, Clint Harvick in the booth here for the call for the last half of tonight's race. How are you doing tonight, Clint?
Doing great, doing great. I'm excited for the last half. Sorry I'm joining so late. Forgot tonight I had to show up to work.
Well, yeah, no, it's been a good race so far. A lot of differing strategies have definitely given us a lot of talking points here tonight. And the three-peat for the 60 is just around the corner. One more win would get him the trifecta, just like we've seen Denny Hamlin do the last month of racing. So there's a lot of storylines here in the Cup Series. It's really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always good to see somebody have a three-peat. You know, like kind of mimics real life, but somebody that cycled to the front during that round of pit stops. Look who's sitting there in 6th place. He's had a string of bad finishes. You think maybe his crew maybe is doing a crazy strategy call? Maybe they made some adjustments.
We're having a bit of difficulties here actually, as the whole field goes before the pace car, and I think that's gonna mire a black flag. What in the world, dude? I have no idea how that even worked. Everyone jumped the start there, and it looks like black flags are being handed out. I can make this right if I do it right, but I don't know where things are going to shake out right now. I'm so sorry.
Is there a clear all option?
No, sadly
there's
not. So everyone's going to serve their black flag here, pull down pit road. And I don't know if this was just me doing something else with the computer in the meanwhile. I
think it's just NR2003 logic.
Just NR2003 doing its thing. So,
looks like we have a new leader, and
so Jimmy Logano up to the front here, and it does not look like he has to serve a black flag, but that 85 Brian DeBlanc still going to have to serve a black flag.
oh man, it's terrible luck for everybody that jumped the restart there. With the maybe they all got the green flag before the guys on the outside. Then NASCAR decided to throw their to change their minds on it.
Well, and so that puts Tyler Shangle up into the proverbial 2nd place here, and the 85 looks to be disregarding the black flag scenario here. Is he staying out? They'll pull his scoring here if he doesn't come down and serve that penalty. As you can still see,
that might be a strategy thing on behalf of the 7, keeping him to the outside, because he's got to be able to get down, right, to be able to do that. And it looks like he's fighting strong, and maybe he's trying to clear the 7. We don't know what's going through the mind. If I was him, I'd check up and get to the bottom so he could serve that penalty real quick.
So I'm going to try to erase all of that craziness here by giving them their laps back under green flag. Oh, it disqualified the 85.
Oh, it looks like the 85s.
They have pulled his score.
That is a shame.
And maybe miscommunication from Spotter not giving him the heads up that he had to pull. Man, he's still out there running. So this right here is kind of a loose cannon situation. He's probably trying to at least fight the call here on the track and not pull it down pit road.
If I was him, that's what I would be doing. Would be fighting that call every step of the way.
Very interesting how now it went from the father-son duo to the two brothers, Tyler and Jacob, right there in the mix, second and third. Huh, yeah, this is wild. I've never seen anything like this. 85 continuing to stay out. Well, you definitely hopped into the booth at the wildest point in the race here.
The absolute worst time for the driver, that 42, as I said something about him, where he was running like, I think 20th at the time of the caution, and then was up at 6th and was black flagged. Hopefully they could turn it around. Maybe we get another late caution that cycles everybody back through. But
well, looks like the 85.
Looks like the 85's finally conceded.
Gave up and realized there was nothing he could do different there to sway the officials here tonight. Crazy stuff.
I mean, oh no, he used this on pit road. Sorry, I'm looking at my delayed stream, and also the a monitor here can't get it. It's a big track here, a relatively large track with a lot of stuff in the infield. Hard to see all the action.
That leaves us with 39 cars left running here tonight. And more or less with all the situation figured out here, it looks like we're going to have just about everyone back to where they once were, back on the lead lap, just running in different positions, kind of mixed throughout.
Terrible luck for Chris Harvey, actually having a decent run with how his seasons went so far tonight, or so far this season. I believe he was in the top 15 before he looks like a piston went bad.
Yeah, LFG Motorsports, they've definitely had a hard season here in Cup, and they're still seeking some race wins for the other teammates. The one of You and What Army has won 2 races this year, but Chaz Chadwick, Chris Harvey, and a couple of the others are just trying to get it figured out here.
Absolutely, maybe doing some experimental stuff in terms of stuff in the R&D center, but it doesn't seem to be working. Maybe they need to go back to the drawing board, or back to what has been working for those guys in the past.
Well, as we got things kind of sorted out here, Jimmy Logano, your race leader, followed by Jacob Shangle and Lynn Farrell, a very respectable 3rd place at the moment. It is Tyler Shangle, Lucas Holmes, that's your top 5. Santi Messi, the Bridge to Cup standout in the top 10 here, with Kara Shangle running in 7th, Shy Turtle in 8th, Tom Cording in 9th, and Wyatt Wilkinson with a top 10 run. Then is Chad Hertenstein, Chaz Chadwick, Campbell Marsh, and Braden Varga after bringing out this last caution. Reck and Tasha Wright. Rich Roy, top 15. And Trevor Walker, Kevin Xavier, Tayden Bergeron, Preston Kundo, and Sebastian Torres. Kellen Relic.
Tayden Bergeron moving his way back up through the field.
Yeah, no, after getting mired all the way back, it looked like he had pitted when the caution came out, this last caution. So he ended up getting trapped all the way at the back because of the way the caution fell there. So we were at the end of a green flag stint, and yeah, it just wrong place at the wrong time. Got the 42 moving back through the field here up to 26th, looking at 25th there. Tasha, after the wreck, she's trying to get back up. She's in 28th. Tyler Land.
Not a whole lot of damage after that hard hit on the 90.
No, impressively, they must have took the crowbar and the hammer to get it fixed up, because it looks almost like new.
Maybe under that caution they were able to whip out the backup.
Yeah, maybe. Sebastian definitely has a little bit wear and tear on the 54 here. Monty goes from fighting for second all the way back to 37. They're going to have to hope for another caution here to maybe get tamped up on fuel and fight for the last stint of the race here. Right now, looking at lap times, it looks like Jacob with a 33.7. And also Jimmy Logano with a 33.7. It was a 7:45 for Logano to a 7:15 for Jacob Shangle. Jimmy Logano's never yet won in the Sigma Cup Series, so up front lead laps like this could be pivotal. .83 to the 33.7. So 60 is definitely running a little bit quicker here. Has a 2-second gap to make up. But what do you think? Are we going to be getting a couple more cautions here tonight? What's your gander on that?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping maybe after that last one we could get caution to get the field bunch back up. After that, I don't know what it was, miscommunication between track officials, NASCAR officials, and the pace car to, you know, try to right the wrongs of that. But, I mean, maybe I can see with how spread out the field is right now, maybe it going green to the end.
I've seen some crazy things in my life, and that one definitely was one of the crazier ones there. I'd once at a local short track saw the flag man wave the green on a restart when they were 4 wide and they were supposed to be double file. That was weird. It was a legend race where they had the legend cars out there, and because one of the legend drivers didn't actually have a transponder, he could not hear the command, could not hear the guidelines from officiating and the track officials. And so he was trying to fight where he was supposed to start, but never heard where he was starting because he didn't have a transponder. And so Flagman had enough of it, threw the green flag with them 4 wide coming off turn 4, and it ended in turmoil. It was there was another one of them that got rear-ended and flew up over the other legend. Kind of in the same lines of that here tonight with Sigma Cup, with that botched restart for sure. Sigma officials did not merit it as a restart. They just black flagged the drivers and kind of kept the race rolling here. But in most cases, that should have been a full-blown restart, a kind of a comp caution to reset the field. We'll see how the rest of the race goes here.
So we see that 60 starting to run down to that 28, showing the raw speed of the 60 tonight.
Jimmy Logano, the tires must be wearing out a little bit quicker on him. He's down to the 33.9 bracket. Jacob's still turning 33.7s. Now down to 1.4 seconds the gap, that 60, reeling him back in.
69's holding tough as well there, holding behind the 60. Maybe he's trying to save something for the end, maybe trying to make a move late in the race on the 60, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that 60 catches the 28.
And lap traffic not likely to be a big factor here for some time, but there will be at some point or another a little bit of lap traffic to deal with here. I got the brothers here, Tyler Shangle running in 4th. As it's already been highly documented, Tyler Shangle was the winningest driver in Sigma Cup history, and he came up short, losing, not getting any wins this year, and he's lost that title to his brother Jacob, just a couple spots ahead, who has won the last 2 races to take over the throne. never has it happened in a year where the two brothers go back and forth for the all-time wins list. Usually it'll be about a several year kind of an era or just a period for the most part where each one of the two brothers will take it for more than a year at a time. And they're, we're in that kind of that weird scenario right now where it could go back and forth. You could see a ping pong match break out between the two brothers trying to take the top spot back in the same year. But Jacob definitely trying to distance himself from his brother. Getting that win last week at Brands Hatch put him one race win ahead. Tyler Shangle, he's going to have to step up his game, get right in the same threshold as that 60 team. We're down to 50 laps left to go here, and Jimmy Logano is a sitting duck from what it looks like.
Is it possible maybe they took 2 tires on that under the last caution?
Possible. Let's see. We can maybe go back a couple. So he's been up front leading for quite some time. Did he not pit? That's how he gets the lead. He has not yet pitted. So he's, he came before the yellow. Okay, there you go. And then the yellow dropped the very next lap. So he was able to stay out during the caution. Looks like he's going to end up taking 2 right sides, 2 left sides. But he's got about probably 5 laps older tires than second place.
Ooh.
So that kind of goes to show the difference, the lap count. Those are a lot older tires than the rest of the field. Because everyone else pitted after the caution at lap 160. Came in around lap 162. Jimmy Logano was last on pit road at lap 158. So he's even in more dire need of some extra fuel to get him by to the finish. That 70 lap window, pitting at lap 158. Yeah, so he's really only good to go about lap 235 here tonight.
He's definitely going to need a caution, several cautions probably to save that much fuel.
Even Jacob in the 60 would be good to go all but 1 lap, so the white flag would be either running out or running on fumes, and we'll see. But Jimmy's been able to enjoy his time up front leading this race up until this point now where he's going to have to defend against the 60. Oh, and we got a caution. Saved by the caution. Big break. That might be our cause for caution right there. The 88 of John Hagan is running in 20th.
You might have something wrong there.
Well, it looks like the report says a suspension failure on the 88 of Hagan. Parks it in the middle of the road. You can't park that there, buddy. Bring out the caution.
Cannot park there. You can park a lot of places on the racetrack, just not on the racing surface itself. So looks like everybody's gonna come down pit road, or at least the leaders are.
Oh yeah, it's a busy place on pit road here. This means everyone will be good to go to the finish. No concerns about gas, no concerns about tires. Be the last stint of the evening here. Everyone on pit road. And we do have green-white checkers in place tonight if we do need them. So who's going to get the top spot off pit road here? Keep an eye on the 28 there. Jimmy Logano gets a good one off. He's going to maintain the race lead and be on level footing with the rest of the field. Fresh tires, full tank of gas, back to the race lead. Man, now we've got some more interesting storylines unfolding here where we've got 3 drivers in the top 5 that are winless in their career of Sigma Cup history. Mix that in with Jacob Shangle, the winningest driver, and Tom Cording, who's got a couple wins to his name. Lynn Farrell, Jimmy Logano, and even Shy Turtle, they are going to be more hungry to get that race win here tonight, I would imagine. Well, let's just hope that they got their restarts figured out here on this restart, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Lights stay on, so we'll go ahead and take a quick glance through the field here with, of course, Jimmy Logano, your race leader, Jacob Shangle in second, Lynn Farrell third, Shy Turtle, and Tom Cording. You got the 26 there of Lucas Holmes, race winner earlier this year. Tyler Shangle behind that with Kara Shangle just next in line. How about Santi Messi with the top 10? The Bridge to Cup guy getting a shot here tonight in the 53 Genesis for Jacob Shangle Racing. Trevor Walker with the top 10. We have not seen him in a position to fight for top 10s like this much at all this year. And it's Chad Hertenstein, Wyatt Wilkinson, and Chaz Chadwick. Braden Varga holding on to a top 15 with Sebastian Torres right behind him. Kellen Relic, Campbell Marsh, Kevin Xavier, and Brandon Butler the second, still picking them up and putting them down. He's even ahead of his teammate there, the 43 of Tayden Berger, and just a couple spots back in the mid-row, mid-pack there. Just keep skimming what's going on there. 45's going to make a pit stop from 22nd. Oil leak on the 45.
Oh.
Some weird
Continued trouble for these guys.
It's just some weird mechanical failures here, it seems like. We haven't seen this amount of weird mechanical failures in a long time. Okay, so lights should turn off. They're going to stay on another lap here. I'm surprised. And perhaps this is where the confusion sets in with the restarts here tonight. Usually they should be back and rolling after about 3 laps under caution here, so. Well, and they must have extended the caution period for the oil leak from the number 45, so extension of the caution period gives us some more time to just kind of collect our thoughts here. Looks like
yeah,
they got some tape out and fixed her up real quick, like 45.
let's hope that doesn't cause any further issues for the field.
He's still very slow on the apron here, though, so I'm not sure how well. Oh, it looks like he's just slow enough to get to the tail end of the field, actually, so. Jimmy Logano might be the control car, but often these restarts get pretty crazy. So even though Jimmy Logano will lead the field, that 60's been a lot faster. We'll see who leads the race after the restart unfolds here. It might be the 60, it might be the 28, and who knows, maybe someone will force it 3 wide at the line, and it could be a 3-way battle for the race win here.
Very well could be. It's gonna be an interesting end to the race, as we only have what would it be, about 40 laps until the checkered flag drops?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it'll be kind of an all-star sprint here at the end, like we're racing in the all-star event, just a 40-lap shootout. And last year, this race actually went into overtime, so there's a very high possibility that we could see some overtime again here tonight, as it seems like the later we've got into this, the more that we've had cautions breed cautions. So Tasha Wright was able to win this race because of the fuel numbers did not line up as drivers started dropping, bringing out more cautions, and she just kind of minded her own business and found her way in victory lane last year here at Gateway. Last year it was a lot later in the season, though. This year we're just a little bit further past halfway, so Gateway gets a different spot on the calendar, but the racing is still just as exciting as if it were at the end of the year here. Clean, there we go. That's what I like to see, a clean doubled up for the restart here. Still tough to kind of comprehend the 85 staying out there until he got disqualified. That's pretty wild. Pace car is pulling off, and we're getting back in green here. Both the 42 and the 43 on the inside line, deep in the field. Monty as well, the 16 has to come all the way through the field here again. Luckily, the restart doubled up, might give him a chance to try and get back up front, but it'll take a while.
See the 42 jump up there to the outside lane. Looks like the 60 got a better restart than the 28, as they're 3 wide through the field.
Teammates 3 wide with the Honda on the outside there. Yeah, there's a lot to follow right now on these restarts. Always frantic, always wild. As Jacob Shangle up front leads over the 28 of Jimmy Logano. Chaz Chadwick in the 18.
We know the 43 is going to come charging hard through the field. He's been quick all night, but he's got to be careful not to burn his stuff up, because if he gets back to the front, gets close to the 60, he needs to have something left for the end to have a chance of beating that 60. 60's been the guy to beat all night.
Right. No, it's going to be and might need another caution to really give him a shot here, but has the speed, has the ability. We'll see how far he can climb up the ladder here on this last late race restart. Whoa, 3 wide behind him. Almost got a little bit gnarly. It's kind of wild, the drivers that he's dealing with right now. A lot of rookie presence here. So Tayden has put his faith in the control of the field ahead of him with a lot of rookies, and that gets to be a little sketchy too. Wyatt Wilkinson, it's rookie campaign, fighting for Rookie of the Year this year. Campbell Marsh, this is only his maybe 5th career start here in Sigma Cup. Sebastian Torres, this is his first full season of Cup action. And then you got Santi Messi ahead just a little bit further. Shy Turtle. And Jimmy Logano technically in his Rookie of the Year season. And look at that, battling the 60 of Jacob Shangle for the race lead. The gloves. Been
speed out of that 28 all year. Gloves are coming off.
Yeah, the gloves are coming off for sure. It's getting good. It's getting, fighty up here at the front. Impressive there with the 3rd place run for Lynn Farrell and a 4th place for Shy Turtle. Lucas Holmes, the top 5. That is a pair of steel-powered cars there. The Chevy of Calvin Steel Racing, and then the Cadillac of Steel Cadillac Racing. Both ventures in honor of the late great Calvin Steel, flying the banner for the team there up in the top 5 for both of them. So you got Tyler Shangle in the KFC car on the inside of Santi Messi, looking for a top 10, moving from 8th up to 7th, the 7 car. You got Chad and Chaz fighting for 9th and 10th. 51 there of Kara Shangle, looking to try and sneak her way into the top 10. Of course, in the meanwhile, the 43 still picking him up and putting him down. He's got his teammate right behind him with Butler moving with him as they're now up to 15th and 16th. Tayden just turned the quickest lap of his race here at a 33.312. Only one driver a little bit quicker than that was Lucas Holmes with a 33.231. So they are really dialing in the cars now and getting them to go the fastest they've been all night long. And it's probably sounding like a broken record at this point, but Jacob looking for the three-peat here tonight. Not something that he's ever done before in Sigma Cup. Never has he won 3 consecutive races. And against all odds, even showing up here tonight, most people did not have him favored. Vegas definitely did not have him as the #1 here tonight. Tasha was ranked higher than him as the defending winner of this race. And so Jacob rolled into tonight with the doubters in the head, and, you know, just wanted to show and prove that he could still get the job done, and even with immense pressure, step up to the plate and deliver. Jimmy Logano in second, though, putting on a stellar performance. A little bit of strategy calls got him to where he is tonight, along with Lynn Farrell, who really hasn't had a top 5 car up until the last caution that brought him up here. And then our lone Canadian in the field here tonight, Shy Turtle, definitely has been up front all night, and he is consistently...
Oh, contact made.
Consistently
a little
bit of teammate contact there too. They're different teams, different manufacturers, but still under the same umbrella. Looks like Tyler Shangle wants to try and climb the field. This right here might be a bit of a statement here from the 7. He wants to get up there and try to keep the 60 from winning another race. If Tyler gets up there and could somehow find a way to win this race, they would tie it back up atop the all-time wins list. Tyler's probably hoping for a bit of a caution here to get things stacked back up and get up there to fight with his brother for the all-time win list.
He's definitely been really good on restarts after he got mired closer to the back.
Well, how
as
about
we see
that?
those burnt money racing cars coming back through the field, maybe swap positions here.
So 42 gets by the boss man there. And also looking a little bit further back here, look at the hard charging Sebastian Galloway Jr. Even with the damage on the car, he has climbed his way up to 18th and has his sights set. I think you nailed it on the head there, Clint. This 43 must have burned up his stuff.
I mean, he come charging through the field from, I think, what was it, about 23rd, 24th, and he's been mired back there in 16th. I think he needs another caution. I don't know if his stuff's burnt up quite yet. Maybe he's trying to hold on to a little bit of something for closer to the end of the race, but he's probably going to need another caution, maybe for some tires or maybe for some fuel.
while. Chad Hertenstein with a good top 10 run. Wow, so the lap times definitely tightening up again here as Jimmy Logano is much closer to the 60 than the 60 would like him to be.
From here on out, the 60 needs to run an almost perfect last about 25 laps.
And it seems like he keeps picking up the lap times, but so does Jimmy Logano, as they are nearly identical lap times between the two of them. Now they are starting to build a gap on third place, Lynn Farrell. But Jimmy Logano is not going away. On even tires and equal playfield for the two drivers, that 28 might be able to put something up here for a race win.
I mean, he could just be playing a strategy game here and trying to make the 60 burn up his stuff for the end of the race. Maybe use a little bit too much tire.
The crazy thing about that strategy is typically both drivers end up burning their stuff, and then you'll see someone from third, fourth, or back make the big difference. So it's definitely a risky gamble for the 28 because you're approaching each lap a little differently. The 60 has to adjust, and so when the two of them make those adjustments, the other guy sits in the catbird seat right behind him.
Absolutely, I agree wholeheartedly with that sentiment. But maybe that's just what he's trying to do. Trying to get him to use up his stuff. Maybe he's holding back a little bit. Maybe he's trying to add just enough pressure to make him either make a mistake or use up his stuff.
3 wide for a position in the backfield here in the 16th, 17th, 18th on full display. Sebastian harnessing his inner Kyle Busch there to really charge through the field. He gets from 17th up to 15th in the span of, well, a set of corners there. He still hasn't gotten out of the woods completely, but man, there's some great racing at the back end of the field here. The racing up front, not too bad either. Lap times, this time a 33.7 to Jacob and a 33.8 for Jimmy.
There's that 69 drawing back in the equation. That gap from second to third is gone.
20 laps left to go. Still a lot up for grabs here.
Looks like the 69 might be backing his entry up a little bit, having a little bit straighter drive off the corner.
I have a feeling, oh, we got some trouble.
Oh, we got a car slow on the inside.
Parking it on the inside line again like we saw earlier tonight. The 88 of Hagen did. This might bring out caution number 5. Should bring out caution number 5, yep.
Can't park there, sir.
Man, I don't know what their deal is tonight. They like parking there like it's marked as a parking spot or something.
I'm interested to see what that was. Maybe another suspension failure. This track is quite bumpy. Maybe people are being a little bit aggressive on their setups.
Flat tire, it looks like. So maybe
oh man, so maybe he'll be able to get back out there.
A little bit of debris that he picked up, cut the tire here tonight. Going to drop the pace lap by 1 count here so we can try to get back to green sooner. Should not be anyone else needing to pit, as you're going to be pretty much good to go here. But you do got to have a mind out on the potential for green-white checker overtime here tonight. So there's always the potential for that to happen. 30 of Tom Cording is going to fall a lap down here, servicing the car under caution.
And with a restart with this little laps to go, you almost got to wonder, is the aggression going to be amped up to 100? I'd say probably. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one, maybe two more cautions before the end of the race because of the aggression being ramped up to 11.
Well, you got someone like Monty Shangle in 25th who has the speed. You're going to have some fast cars from the back trying to move to the front. You look a little bit further ahead. Al Bunch could be quick. The 95 is second in the points. James Fireball Robert, he's probably going to try to charge through the field. We've already seen the charges from Sebastian Galloway Jr., Taden Bergeron, and even Brandon Butler II. So they're up closer to the top 10 than they've been all day after the cautions kind of trapped them backwards here. Chad Hertenstein with the top 10. But it's anyone's guess as to what this next restart is going to be like.
The only thing we're hoping for is a clean restart.
It's kind of trending in the same direction as last year's race here, where we had overtimes aplenty. So this track is going to start moving up the list on excitement value here, as I think Gateway is here to stay here at the Sigma Cup Series.
Absolutely. Something I'm looking at are the people that have been charging through the field. I'm looking to see that 42, the 43, then like you said, the 95 to be jumping up to the field on this restart. That 42, he was closing in pretty quick on that front pack before this caution come out. So he's been making some moves, been cutting his way up to the field. Are we going to see another late race resurgence like we've seen from him a lot this season?
I think that is what's been the most exciting to watch this year, is how fierce these drivers are. It's not just a follow the leader affair like Formula One. We've actually got some personalities and some drivers that are capable of flying through the field, making so many passes that it kind of makes your head spin. So this season has been definitely one for the record books. A lot of passes. If there was a way that I could actually monitor and track how many passes were made, I think this year would probably be a record year in the format of passes made for position.
Well, I want to expand on a little something you said earlier about Taden Bergeron putting his faith, in the field in front of him with the rookie class and the inexperience, and being surrounded by the inexperienced earlier. We have an absolutely stellar rookie class this season. I know several rookies have gotten wins. It's pretty amazing to see the rookie talent and their ability throughout the season so far.
Well, and like that, we got 4 rookies starting on the outside line here. The 28 of Jimmy Logano, 33 of Shy Turtle, the 53 of Santi Messi, the 21 of Chad Hertenstein. Oh, and the 64 of Sebastian Torres. 5 rookies deep on the outside here, with veteran presence on the inside line. We're back and rolling here with 15 laps left to go. The 60 will lead them to the restart. 28 gets a great jump on the high side, though. And that could be the big difference in tonight's race. Getting the jump on the start, getting the advantage, and driving away with it. We'll see if the 60 can get back around him. Is carrying that speed on the inside. Is he going to be able to make a move on the 28, or is he just going to hold serve behind him?
He's there. He's on his back bumper there. He's going to be on his back bumper going into 1. Can he outbrake him? Is he going to pull out a line? Looks like he's going to follow him into turn 1 here. Oh, a little high there. Is going to open the door for the 69.
So the 69 rolling in, and the 60 falling back.
Looks like he's going to have a good... looks like he had a good run off on exit to hold that second position. He's just got to settle back in and and hope for and hope that the 28 makes a mistake. You see, they're easily the 2 quickest cars on track. You just got to hold it there.
7 of Tyler Shangle moves up to 5th and has his sights set on moving a little bit further up the line. Oh, 28 gets a little bit slow there. You can see the line. The 60's running a little bit quicker. Everyone deeper in the field probably hoping for another late race caution to really stack things back up as your leaders are kind of driving away with it. Here's 60 on the inside of the 28, side by side for the race lead.
Almost make contact there. It looks like the 60 might have had to check up to keep from getting into the 28.
But it's game on for the race win here. These two are not going to give it up lightly. 28's going to have to earn it. 60 is going to try to rattle his cage. And there's a reason why the trifectas never happened in the wheelhouse of Jacob Shangle. He has probably been at this situation at least once before, and the tremendous pressure of trying to close out the trifecta always outweighs the ability to get it done. So we'll see.
The 26 makes a move to the inside of the 69. He's there. He's got a fast car.
This is definitely changing up the whole environment at the front of the field here. 60, he's got a weird line, and it's slow and fast, and it's fast and slow, and he can't seem to keep up with the 28 once he gets alongside of him here. 11, now 10 laps remain. Tyler Shangle on the move on the inside. He has his sights set ahead of him there. 60 goes high, loses a little bit of ground. 28
He's dominating the corner a little bit, and it helps on exit, but I mean, it looks like he's just having to check up too much there to keep from running into the 28 when he gets those massive runs off the corners.
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of drama at the back half of the field. Still a lot of doubled throughout the mid-pack there, doubled up. But some of our biggest movers, Monty Shangle back up into the top 20. Sebastian Galloway Jr. in 16th. Chad Hertenstein's fallen backwards, but now you have the Burt Money Racing teammates both in the top 10, 9th and 10th. And Tyler Shangle faltering a little bit on the long run here since the restart. Jacob, it just seems once you get that lead, it's hard to get back around the leader. Or you know, if you're second, fighting for that lead. Clean air is king.
Absolutely. Well, I'd look for this 26 here to make a move in the closing laps. He seems to be pretty quick.
He's trying to save his stuff for one last push here tonight. 28 definitely has the top spot, has the advantage. And on a long run like this, the tires are just getting away from him. They are dropping the lap times from their fast lap times as they're pushing as far as they can push on a lap run with the tires. Good push here by the 60, but it's going to hold him up. That 28 pushes him down to the apron each time, and it woes up the 60 car. Something fierce. And there you see the 26 making an advance on the 60. 28's doing a masterful job at defending, keeping the lead, and blocking the run that the 60 has. 60 definitely has the faster car, but the 28 is playing a cagey strategy here to try and win the race.
Absolutely. I'm sure Jacob Shangle is not going to be very happy with the 28, throwing those late blocks on exit. You know, trying to keep those two cars. You know, with Jacob Shangle being a team owner, he's got to understand the amount of money it costs to come to the racetrack every week, especially with several cars.
Right. Yeah, and Jimmy Logano kind of as a solo, you know, team owner venture this year in the Cup Series. He's trying to build up his, self-earnings and get himself in a position to fight amongst the juggernauts like the Shangles and the Cordings. Here we go. Battle for the race lead. This is getting good. Side by side, that's the most he's taken a bite out of the 28's lead that we've seen in a long while. He's going to have to settle back in and try again, but you can see the blood in the water. 26 is right there too, thinking about stepping out of line. Who's got the faster car? Who's saved the tires for this last push of the evening? 60's right there. He's going to try to carry the momentum. He has an opening. 28 keeps blocking the line and defending as well as he can. 3 laps to go.
Oh, the 26 is to the outside of the 28.
69 is going to follow down and maybe get up to third here. All kinds of, ebb and flow. You see the cars, kind of pick up, slow down, speed up, and stop. And it's right here. It's anyone's game at this point. The 28 is looking used up. Oh, and here we go. 26 looks on the 60 here for second place. Takes a stab at it.
He's not going to be able to get there. Can he have a run off the corner? He's got to make quick work at the 60 if he's going to have a shot at the 28.
Might be the move to make on the front stretch here. Save the run for the last push here.
As we come to 2 laps to go.
Is it going to be the trifecta, or will Jimmy Logano earn his first career Cup win here tonight?
I think that 60 is going to have to move the 28 to get by him.
He's stepping out of line. He's trying to get a different. He's kind of hooking the tires, try and feel where he can get another run. And it looks like it might not be enough. White flag in the air, 1 more lap to go. No overtime needed here at Gateway here tonight. 1 more push. The 60 has a chance. Will he be able to make it side by side coming into turn 3? 28 starts to drive away here. 60's putting himself in a position to try 1 more shot at the race lead. Not going to be enough. You're going to have a new Sigma Cup winner here tonight. 28 of Jimmy Logano gets the job done, canceling out the trifecta for Jacob Shangle in the 60 after winning the last 2 races here. But still,
another first-time winner this season.
That was a good race through and through. Definitely came down to the end there to try and see who would get it. 3rd place, Lucas Holmes. 4th place, Lynn Farrell. Top 5 getting Chaz Chadwick there. Tyler Shangle in 6th. Shy Turtle in 7th. Taden Berger in 8th. And Santi Messi 9th. Chad Hertenstein brings it home top 10 as Brandon Butler the 2nd in 11th. Kara Shangle in 12th. Sebastian Torres 13th. Preston Kundo 14th, and Wyatt Wilkinson your top 15. Monty Shangle in the 16 brings it home 16th. Well, I'm kind of glad I jinxed it for myself that I didn't get the trifecta here tonight. I was trying to kind of, it would feel too rigged if that happened here, so I was giving it all the anticipation here to try and jinx it here, and it just so happened for Jimmy Logano to get the win, which even is cooler in my opinion, getting his first ever Cup win here.
Yeah, I was gonna say if that 60 car won again, I'm sure there was gonna be a bounty started to try to derail that.
Yeah, and then going into the next week where you might be trying to win 4 in a row could get pretty topsy-turvy.
Absolutely.
But it just goes to show you that this field is stacked. I mean, you might have a driver that's on a hot streak like a Denny Hamlin that could be in it to try and win 3 or 4 races in a row. And it makes a difference. I mean, the momentum is still there. The 60 had a good run here tonight, and still a great points night, bringing it home second, leading the most laps. We'll see where he starts to move up in the point standings, as a lot of the points are going to get tighter as we get towards the second half of the season.
Absolutely, especially with the 95 not finishing super well, it's going to draw that from second probably to about fifth back up.
Yeah, and even Taden Bergeron didn't give up too many points here tonight, but he didn't get max points either. So he's definitely left the door a little bit open. Not like wide open, but just kind of a little creak.
He cracked it.
Cracked it open, yeah.
A good rebound for the 42. That's always nice to see after his string of bad luck, finishing just outside the top 10. You know, that's probably a finish that guy wants.
Oh, for sure, yeah. No, and that was kind of tonight's story, is surviving the chaos and rebounding for, you know, decent finishes. Well, that is a wrap here tonight. Congratulations to Jimmy Logano on sealing the deal for the first time ever. Also want to thank Clint for hopping in the booth here with me tonight. How'd you enjoy that race here this evening?
It was a very exciting, very, very exciting last, I believe it was about 70 laps that I got to witness. So really, really happy with the result. Another first time winner. What is that, like 17 or 18 different winners this season so far?
Trying to go through at least 16 different winners, which that would be funny if it ended up being 16 different winners. We might still see some more first-time winners, but on the Biffle tribute season, to have 16 different winners is impressive. Any season, it's impressive. 16 or 17, I think. It's pretty close to about that, so. But with next race up, we have Nashville, and who knows what could happen there at Nashville. We actually have pit stalls available for 45 cars, so going to be a bigger field, and that just means more opportunities for a surprise winner like tonight with Jimmy Logano.
That's always exciting.
Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in once again. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. It was a quicker Cup race. Obviously, we were able to get this one in within 2.5 hours here, so hopefully catch you on the next stream. I was thinking I'll try to get 2 more races done tomorrow night with ARCA and Truck, so a 1-hour race and a 1-hour race, so I can try to get ahead of the curve and get settled in for my July and August month-long break. So, but other than that, I would like to bid everyone a grand night. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this is Jakester and Clint signing out.